Sadie, you say
Yes.
you married lady.
Hey, hey, hey. That's it. That's it. That's what we doing.
Yes, Dr. Teresa Hairston
We's
Jackson.
married now.
Yeah, you's married now. You's
Us
married
married
now.
now. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's just been so. Oh, you just started. Okay. All right. She's saying she just started. So we're getting this technical stuff together. All right. We are
Right.
live. I'm here with my girl, Dr. Teresa Hairston Jackson. Sadie, new married lady. She's married now,
Woo!
y'all. She's married now.
Yep, 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 yep. How's it
And
going
we're
over
doing,
there?
oh, I am in Lagos, Nigeria today.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
I was out shopping and dashed home to do this live with you because we have some
Yay.
important news to impart to people. And I'm
Exactly.
so excited about what we're doing together. And you know
Yes,
what? The sisterhood is alive and real, y'all. For women who don't think that you can have real women friends, you need to
that's
know
right.
that Gail and Oprah are not the only ones. There's some other folks out here
That's right.
doing things
That
together.
is right. You know what?
Yeah.
And it's each one brings one, each one helps one, and that's how we build the chain. And it's
Yes.
so good. Let's talk about how this whole thing kind of came about and what we're doing, and then
Yes.
hopefully we can get some comments and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
How did this happen, Teresa?
yes. So, of course, both of us are writers. I've been writing, 35, 40 years, and you have too. And we've talked about collaborating over the years on different things. We
Hmm.
have, kind of stayed in touch in our various areas. Michelle has been the queen of single books, books about singles. And of course, I did Gospel Today, Gospel Industry Today, books and Unstoppable and all kind of other stuff. And so I got a call and they said, "Hey, we're doing the Color Purple movie and we'd like for you to consider writing a faith guide so that people who are people of faith would have some reflections on the movie that they could, kind of look at." And I
Hmm.
said, "Absolutely." Of course, when you look at the movie, there are a lot of themes that
A lot of things.
we can pick from and things that are just straight down the middle and some things that are controversial. So,
Yes.
as I got into the writing, it kind of became like a never ending journey. And so I said, let me call my sister Michelle and see if she can help me get to the finish line on this. And I did, and she did. And we've got a faith guide out there that
Hmm.
I think is going to be a blessing to a lot of people. It's going to make you think. It's going to make you reflect. It's going to make you look at okay, do I agree with this? Do I not agree? How do I feel? But I think there's two sides of it. I think people might want to get the faith guide even before they see the movie. The movie comes out in 9 days on
Hmm.
Christmas Day. So you might want to get the faith guide and check it out and think about some of the things, and then it'll kind of prepare you to see the movie.
Hmm.
And also, then after the movie, you can look at it again and say, these are some perspectives that maybe you didn't see the first time. Maybe you want to go back another time, or, have a group because believe it, you know, we solve all the problems in the world at the beauty salon.
Yes.
Now we do that.
Yes,
So
we do.
you may have a beauty salon talk, or you may have talk over dinner, post Christmas or before Christmas. But, I think it's just good for us. First of all, let me say, to see so much melanin on the screen at one time,
Yes.
that part, that is phenomenal. And
Yes.
the fact that we are like telling our stories our way, from Alice Walker to Blitz. How do you say his last name? Bazawule?
Bazule.
Yes.
And he's
Bazawule.
Ghanaian. Don't make me mess it up now
Yeah,
because
okay, he's from
I'm from
Ghana.
Ghana. They beat me up.
And I mean,
Good.
he's the director, in case you didn't know, of the movie. And Oprah, of course, is exec producer, Steven Spielberg and some others. But this guy brought this movie to life. I
Hmm.
mean, the themes, the okay, so everybody says, well, what's the difference between the first one that came out in 1985
Mhm.
and this one that comes out Christmas 23? Well, I can tell you in a nutshell, a lot of the depth that we didn't get in the first one, we'll get in this one because
Yeah.
you didn't know where things came from. You didn't know what happened to people afterward. So those kinds of things, and I can't do any spoiler alerts. I can't do any
Right, right.
spoilers because you just got to go see it. But I think that some of the things, and let's just talk a little bit about sisterhood.
Yes.
So I think that in this season, Michelle, and you can kind of chime in, what have been some of the, and I'm just going to go there, what have been some of the challenges that you've experienced over the years as you've been working as a professional woman, as an entrepreneur, as a single woman, as a sister that doesn't have natural, children, but you have so many people that you've mentored.
Yeah.
And so, what have been some of the challenges?
Well, one of the things that's been interesting for me over the years as I've traveled and spoken at tons of women's conferences, is women always come up to me and say, how do you get good friends? And I'm always shocked by that because God really blessed me with really good friends, you being among them.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
and so I'm like taken aback for a moment. And then the scripture that comes to me is those who want friends should be friendly.
that's right.
But I think that it goes beyond the first initiation of friendship. It's about walking in the trenches with people, being there for them through the thick and thin, the good, the bad, the ugly, daring to tell the truth, sometimes to the point where maybe you're not speaking to each other for a couple of months, but you come back around because you
Right,
know
right,
that it
right.
came from the source of love. It's really weathering the storms. And I think the more storms you have, the closer you become. And I
Mhm.
think that we live in a society now, Teresa, that at the first bone of contention or issues, people flee instead of staying to work through things.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
if you don't see anything else in the color purple, you see people who fight, who make up, who weather the storm together and realize that no matter what their differences are, that their commonalities outweigh those things.
Yeah,
And those are the things that become the glue that make them stick together through thick and thin, even at times when they're competing against one another.
exactly.
You know,
Well,
and we
one of the
know.
things, let me just put a pin in that. Don't
Mhm.
forget your train. But,
Okay.
one of the things that we looked at in the movie that happened in the first movie and definitely happened in the second movie, and yes, I've seen it like multiple times already, the second movie, but the relationship between Celie and Sophia.
Sophia, yes.
And in the first movie, you saw the contention because Celie told
Harpo to
Harpo,
beat her.
he said, "Be her," and he tried, and
You tried and
it's
failed.
like you told Harpo to beat me. I had to fight in my own house, all of that.
Yes.
So it's
All
just
my life.
yeah. I I mean, that is one of the scenes that all of us can relate to, right?
Yes.
Because we do have to fight through, and then for the sister to rise up and tell the husband beat her. I'm like,
Yes.
"What?"
Yes.
Abuse, really? So, how does that come across when, okay, do you stop the relationship and say, "I'm done with you"?
No, you don't. You press into that. And when you press in, you press through. As we see, they come out on the other side championing one another. And if she had just cut her off at that point, Celie would not have been there for her at a very critical point. What
Right.
goes around comes around, and we never know when we're going to need that other person. So you just need to get in that person's faith. It says the truth will set you free. And
That's
in
right.
that instance, communication becomes key because maybe it wasn't meant that way. Maybe it came from a different place than what
Well,
you
maybe,
knew.
Celie, she admitted that in one of the reasons that she said beat her was because, first of all, she didn't understand anything but that.
Right. It
That
was
had
her
been
normal.
that
That
was
was
her
the way,
experience.
yeah.
Yeah, and
It
that
was her normal.
Yeah. And so as she grew, evolved, and matured, then she got to another point of saying, wait a minute, this is not the
That's
way.
not right. Yeah.
And then she turned around and became compassionate because when Sophia got locked up, it was
Mhm.
like nobody came but
Right.
Celie.
Right.
And so, Celia was there as the comfort because when she turned her heart around and said, wait a minute, I didn't understand. Now I do.
Yeah.
It changed her behavior. How many
Yes.
times do we have to go back and change our behavior because now we understand differently. Now we see it differently. We see
Mhm.
another person differently. And
Yes.
all that she railed against for Sophia's temperament and her boisterousness then
Yes.
became something that she had to support because that was the essence of Sophia that Sophia needed to be who she
It
was.
was.
Celie
Yes.
really healed her. And
Mhm.
so I think in this season, and we'll come back another time and talk more about other things, but I think in this season, one of the things that all of us can take away is how can we speak into somebody's life, pour
Mhm.
into somebody's life, help to heal somebody who's been broken, who's been
Yeah.
hurt, who's been challenged, and who may be laying on the side of the road, like, ready to
Yeah.
go. And we can pull them back up. We can raise them back up like the Good Samaritan. And
Yeah.
we can put them on the next road to purpose.
Well, I think that we have to make a commitment to looking beyond the fault and seeing the need.
Yeah.
We don't know why people do what they do most of the time. And
Yeah.
most of the time, it's got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with
Exactly. Exactly.
history, experiences, traumas, a whole lot of stuff that makes them who they are that has nothing to do with you,
Yeah.
even though you feel you're receiving the brunt of their treatment at the time.
How
And
about
once
that?
we gain an understanding, we can actually become an element of healing that not just changes us and makes us stronger people, but also changes them. So it's
Yes.
really, really important for us to dig deeper in our relationships and be determined to nurture, to stick, and to stay. You know what? When we see, I'm going back to Gail and Oprah again, but
Right.
I see two people who've probably been through more than we know.
Yeah.
Okay. And they've got each other's secrets at this point, but beyond that, they've
Yeah.
been through some things together. They've
Yeah.
been through some changes and some hardships, and
Yeah.
they were there for one another. And I'm sure that they didn't like each other every day. As a matter of fact, I just saw an interview where she was talking with Sherry Shepherd. Yes.
Okay.
And she said probably the thing that's allowed our relationship to be so great is we don't live in the same city.
Right. Right.
Don't know what would happen if we dealt with each other every day. So there are
Yeah.
different things that create the glue between us as sisters. I mean, Teresa, you and I have known each other for I don't know how many years now. It
I
would
know
age
it.
us
It's
very
like
terribly if we admitted it. So we're just going to say that we've been there. We got history. We go
right.
way back.
Exactly.
Okay. And
Exactly.
I just always think back to the time when you visited me in Ghana for 3 weeks. I'd been begging her for years, y'all, begging her for years. She finally showed up,
And
and
then
she
wouldn't
hung out,
leave.
and
I
it
showed up and
was
wouldn't leave.
it was such an amazing time.
It
We
was.
prayed together every day and
Yeah.
shared dreams and talked about things, and it was like we had never been apart.
Right.
And that's
Right.
that's what happens when hearts are knit together, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, you
Teresa,
know what? The thing
mhm,
about that, Michelle, is you've got to find the place of
yeah,
intersection. You
yes,
can decide that whoever you're around, that, oh, well, you can't do anything for me, or this is not something, I'm trying to build this business, or I'm trying to do
mhm,
this project, and oh, you don't have anything to offer. Let me just
mhm,
move on.
mhm.
And we didn't do that.
No,
We found the place. And
mhm,
once we found the place, and we found it through prayer,
yep,
we found it through stories about where we were in life and
mhm,
sharing the vulnerabilities of our lives
yes,
and sharing the hurts and the pains and
mhm,
sharing the triumphs and the joys.
yes,
But
mhm,
it's all of that. I heard a sister say the other day, we don't look at triumph and tragedy as two separate events that happen in different parts of our experience. They
mhm,
happen together. And
yes,
because we are such dynamic people as God made us. We can
Mhm.
handle triumph and tragedy on the same day in the same place.
Yes,
We can rejoice and
definitely.
cry. We can dance and fall out. We can do it
Mhm.
all at the same time and manage it and be
Yes,
successful as we manage both ends of those spectrums. So
right.
I think that that's so important in this season. So many people are, are handling the challenges of life, the pain of loved ones lost,
Mhm.
the loneliness, all of those things. But we also have to be thankful that every day we get up, we can take another breath and say, God, this is a day I've never seen before and will never
Right.
see again. Let me
Exactly.
walk forward in purpose and in power. So
Exactly.
that's the stuff that
That's the stuff.
it is. It's the
You
stuff that
know,
brings us together.
I always say that I'm a terrible networker. I hate networking because I
You're not.
like who.
You're really a good one.
Well, you know what though? Here's my secret. I like who I like and I don't like who I don't like.
Right.
And so everybody that is in my circle is someone that I genuinely like and love. So
Yeah.
it's easy then to remain committed to the relationships. I am not a transactional or conditional friend.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
come into the relationship for what I get out of it. For me, to be perfectly honest, Teresa, every friendship I know is an assignment from God.
Wow.
You
Wow.
see? And so therefore, even if that person gets on my last nerve, I don't get to drop kick them because God said this one is supposed to be in your life.
This is
And
some good wisdom.
yes. And so I think that what happens a lot of times when people come into relationships and say that they're being a friend to someone, it's conditional and it's
Yeah.
transactional.
Yeah.
And
That's
so they
true.
come in with the wrong set of expectations. I mean, if you never did anything for me, if you never gave me anything, I'd still be in your life. You
Yeah.
understand? Because I have a genuine love for you for
Yeah.
just when we get together and laugh and do whatever we do. And so I think that everyone needs to step back and ask themselves, why are these people your friends?
Well, yeah,
And then,
and there's isn't there an inner circle and then a peripheral that's a little.
mhm,
How do you
yeah,
decide who to bring in or who to keep in, and then who to like? Oh, yeah, I know them. They're colleagues, maybe not friends.
who can handle my pain? Because you
Wow.
have, because do you know that, do you have, I mean, you're gonna know, you're gonna laugh when I say this. There are certain people that I know I can tell certain things to.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can handle it. I won't be judged. I'll be
Right.
corrected in love and
Right.
we'll move on. And then there are other people that would just be on the floor or,
Wow.
judgmental or whatever. So there's categories, there's outer court friends, inner court friends, and holy of
Right.
holy friends.
Right.
And then
Wow.
there are associates beyond the gate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you just have to know there's my sister-in-law, Sharon McKinney. Hey, sis.
Hey.
Um,
Hey,
you
Sharon.
know, so it's just all about having discernment when it comes to
Good.
your friends as
Well,
well.
listen, I want to end here and I want us to come back in a few days
Mhm.
and get this all technology straightened out. But I want to say, and maybe Teka can put it in, I know it's under my name, gospelheritage.org. Gospelheritage.org is where you need to go. Those of you who are interested in getting the faith guide, it's free. All you do is go down to gospelheritage.org, download it, and you can check it out. You can read through it. And I think it'll be interesting when we come back if there's people that have read it or looked at it and have questions, comments, whatever. Let's come back and really kind of explore some of the themes. We talked a little bit about sisterhood, which I think is such an important thing, friendship, relationship, everything in life is about relationships.
Yes.
So from the cradle to the grave, it's about relationships. So
Yes.
Michelle.
So once again, for those of you who came on late, we're discussing the faith guide that Teresa and I wrote for the color purple. She was
Yeah.
contacted by the color purple peoples because she's important like that. And
Oh,
she
wow.
invited me to help write the guide. And it discusses like the main themes and issues that are in the movie
Yeah.
that are relevant to where we are today. So
Right.
I mean, when you go to see the movie, your buttons are going to be pushed on several topics. And
Yes.
they wanted to have something that could assist you in not just being entertained, but also
Right.
healed. as you watch the
Inspired,
movie. So
encouraged,
yes,
empowered, all of those things. And
yes,
this guide is such an excellent guide. Michelle, thank you for agreeing to be part of it, to contribute to it. And we look forward to
thank you
getting
for asking.
comments back. So
Yes,
we'll be hanging out for a minute talking about this whole thing and our collaboration. And hopefully it will inspire other people who, I get calls and emails and all this stuff from people who want to write books and have written books, all the stuff. But I think this is the kind of stuff that helps us to, kind of open the doors and the gates of even questions about writing books and all that stuff. So let's do it again. What you think?
let's do it again. So thanks for everybody that logged on. I see Natalie
Yeah.
Francisco and everybody. Daya, I see, everyone. So God bless you guys. We encourage you to get the guide. I know Natalie, you've got a women's group. It's definitely something that you'll want to share.
Yes.
Sharon as well. It's really a powerful little guide that deals
Yeah.
with deep themes, not just sister to sister, but daddy issues, forgiveness, knowing when to leave, lots of different themes. And we're going to come back and unpack those. And if you've read it and checked it out, it'd be great to have you come back on to comment. And we just love you and appreciate you so much. And Teresa,
Thank
thanks again for letting me be a
Oh,
part of
yeah.
this with you.
Oh, love you. Love you, my
Love
sister.
you.
Go back shopping. Go shopping some more.
I'm gonna go shopping. I'm in Lagos with all these fabulous designers, girl. They are wrecking my
I
nerves. Okay, I'm
know.
like,
I
okay.
know. I love it. All right. Take care. Have a great day.
Take
Happy
care.
Saturday to everybody.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.